Okay. I guess I'm live. Sorry guys, but I was like messing around with the settings here on OBS and I don't know if this is okay or not, but I guess I'll just go with it. Yeah, it seems to be probably working, so yeah. Okay, so let me just show you. Okay, so we are back, and let me show you. I changed a few things since I stopped the streaming the last time. So the last time the problem where we were at was that I was using the raycast to send the synapses between the neurons, which didn't make sense because in that way we could only fire synapses when we were pointing to another node, and that's not the goal. At least not the user. The user could always fire whenever they want, but the enemy was not doing that. So the enemy was only firing the synapses when it reached or when it was pointing to another node. Or even the player. Yeah, no, I was thinking that the player, I was telling that the player was not doing that, but he actually is. So I changed that, and now let me show you. Let me show you. Let me select this one, for example, and I'm gonna activate with the player. So now I can shoot even if I'm not pointing at another node, as you can see. So I can fail to point to another node, and so this is it. And you can also see that when we fail, so as soon as we shoot, we can only shoot again if when the previous shot is destroyed. I mean, either by hitting another node or by getting off the screen. So maybe I can have also a cooldown. I don't know. I'll have to see. Also, something that I'm thinking about changing is that this will not be rotating automatically. So basically, maybe what I'm gonna do, and I need to test if this makes sense or not, is that the player will be able to shoot when he presses on the, for example, the left side of the screen. So when he taps the left side of the screen, it shoots, and when he taps the right side, it will rotate to one side or the other. Maybe he presses and it starts rotating to the right. When he releases and presses again, it changes and starts rotating to the left. Something like this. But I have to try it. So far, it's rotating automatically. And the enemy, I just changed it. I'm gonna show you guys what I did. Before that, I just wanted to show you something that I needed to do because, for example, for the synapse, to destroy the synapse, I had to destroy it when it hit another neuron, or basically when it had a collision with anything. And basically what I'm doing here is I added on trigger enter, and so when the on trigger enter is invoked, it means that the synapse collided with something on screen. So since I'm not having a lot more stuff on scene, so probably this won't be invoked other than when it's colliding with nodes. But I mean, now I'm thinking it could also invoke when it collides with another synapse, but I'm not going to worry about it. Basically, what it does is that it tries to get the neuron out of the collision, and it called the destroy. The destroyer will basically destroy the synapse before it invokes the target reached, which is not target reach anymore. Now it's like collision detected or on destroyed, something like that. But I'll change it. And the neural target is just waiting for the listening to this method, and basically if it's not hitting a neuron, then the same neuron that shot the synapse activates again. But if it actually hit another neuron or another node, it will deactivate this node and activate the one that was hit. So this was the first thing that I changed. And the other thing that I changed, and I haven't finished it yet, was that I don't like the enemy to have that to have the same behavior as the player. I mean, it doesn't make sense for the enemy to be like rotating and like firing randomly, because then the player has a big advantage over the enemy. At least I think so. Um, I mean, it didn't feel natural when I was like looking at a demo. It didn't feel natural. Let me see if it's still working, because I was changing a few things here. Let me see. So, oh, this is use on range. Is not okay. I'm gonna check that in a minute. Activate. So, okay. So you see, okay. So this would be how the enemy would work, and it's not exactly what I want. So you can see that it doesn't exactly show like it's growing, like it's activating the nodes near the one that is activated. It's a little bit random, and it's not exactly what I intended to. So I change it, and now what I'm doing, I don't know why this is not working anymore. Let me see, connect all networks. Okay, so now, okay, now you see. What I did was basically each neuron is now connected to the ones that are around itself. So for example, this one, it has access to all these 6 neurons around it. This one has access to these ones, and so forth. So you can see that each one is connected to the other ones around it, basically. And this creates this whole grid. And now my idea is that I'm going to use this so that when the neuron is being controlled by the enemy, so by the app, what I'm going to do is that instead of just like firing randomly, the neuron is going to wait a certain time, and then it will select one of these nodes to propagate to. So it will fire exactly to one of the nodes, so it won't miss, which I'm not sure if it's the best practice or not, if it makes sense in terms of design or not, but I think it makes more sense. I haven't implemented yet. I just finished this, getting this network to run, and I'm not going to do this in real time. Even as I'm changing, the only thing that I'm changing in terms of the now that I'm thinking, yeah, okay, but right now I'm using the whole network, so you can see that I have all the neurons are being used, so 100% of them. And probably I'm going to keep it this way, because otherwise I have to worry about, okay, are these being used or not? Are these enabled or not? And I don't want to deal with that right now. So I'm just going to go with the whole network enabled at this moment, and then I'll see. So the idea here, let me see. So it connected neurons in range. So you can see that this neuron has other seven. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, yeah, 7. Yeah. Oh, I was not counting right. So you have connected to 7. Let me just check something. If I play, oh, but if I press play, it loses the connection. I think this is because it's not, and even this one. No, but this one does not lose the connection. And why is that? I think this is about like serializing the properties or not. So here I have this serialized field, private list of neurons, which are the neurons in range. Each neuron has this neurons in range, and the neural network has this serialized field with an array. Is it because it's a list? No, doesn't make sense. At least I think so. It doesn't make sense to be weird because of it's a list. I think I'm not sure, but it should be able to. So I'm going through all the neurons and connecting with the other ones. I didn't want to run this at a runtime, because it's not like a very optimized process. So I'm just going to all the neurons, and if for each one I'm going to all the other ones. So it's not the best process, but I don't want to waste too much time like working on this process. It's not that. I mean, it's important, but if I can do it on edit time, I don't need to do it on runtime. So there is no overhead for the game. So. And now I'm thinking, why is it not storing the values? Because it's getting the values on edit time, and these ones, so these ones are always here, but we are losing these ones. Why is that? Let me see. Let me try it again. So connect all neurons. Okay, it connected. I can take this walk from here. I don't need it anymore. This is like the distance was not working and stuff like that. Oh, and the way that I did to connect the neurons around it was basically I'm doing two things. I'm sending a raycast to all the other neurons to see if it hits the neuron that I want, and if it does not hit, I mean, if I try to hit this one, for example, it will hit this first. So this one is not available. Let's say, and also in terms of distance. So I'm just using like a distance of a range of 1.5 units, which is around like something like around this. So all neurons outside of this range, I don't even try to raycast to connect to them because they are outside of the range that I intend to. Because otherwise, I could have like this one propagating to this one, for example, maybe even for this one, and I didn't want to have like cases like that. So I just disabled that and I added the range, and now it can only connect to other nodes that are in the proximity, let's say it this way. So now this is not persistent on the runtime. Why? You can see that it loses all the neurons, but this one does not lose it. Hmm. Oh, but I still have one. Oh, okay. Oh, this is really strange. This one is okay. I mean, it's okay, it's not okay, because it's not connecting. No, it's not connecting to the neurons that I wanted. Okay, let me just revert this one. Oh, that's really strange. Connect all neurons. Okay, they are connected. Let me see, which one was that? I think it was this one. I'm not sure, but I think it was this one. So it's connected to other 9. Okay, yeah. And hmm. hmm So now they are all here. If I press play, they disappear. But this one does not disappear. I'm thinking it's because I know that sometimes we have to call like the apply modified properties and stuff like that, but I don't think that's it. Because right here I'm doing exactly the same, like I'm connecting the neurons and they are appearing here. Maybe I cannot serialize a list? No, I can. I mean, why can't I serialize a list? Does it make sense? Because if I come here and I just like, okay, yeah, it's like, and I do this. Let's see, now I press play and the connection remains. Yeah, so it doesn't make sense. Hmm. Is it because of the prefab? Connect all neurons. Let me see. Okay, now that one. Oh, it. But I cannot call the serialized blah blah blah. No, it doesn't make sense. I think. Okay, I have the neurons. Okay, let me check if I do something like, because I know that if I call like serialized object, apply modified properties, but here I'm not applying. To be honest, I'm not. I use this sometimes, but I never know exactly how it works because I never got time to like focus on it and try to understand it a little bit better. But I know that something like this or set dirty, find property. I know there is something like set is different, cache dirty. No, update no, is dirty. Set update as multiple cache on the next update call. But it's not this one that I want. This one is okay. Yes, I think so. Yeah, because if I apply that on this one, it's not gonna like propagate to the child, so it doesn't make sense. So I think so. Let me just check here. So unity set values. Okay, reset the script. No, nothing like this. Name the field. No, but I'm already serializing. Yeah, because usually the thing is that I say to serialize the field and it works, but I'm missing something here. Save properties. I'll save values on runtime. Values lost on entering play mode, yeah, something like this. Serialize object update. Apply modified properties, yes, but this is not exactly what I want. Okay, some guy is saying to use like to mark the scene as dirty, but I'm not entirely sure this is what I want. Let's see. After I connect the neurons, yeah, that's what I want. So let me see. If I connect all neurons, they are connected. Now they are here. Okay, now I press play and they are all gone again. Okay, I really didn't want to run this at I think it's because of the prefabs. I'm almost certain that it's because of the prefabs. Because this one is a prefab, the other ones are not. Okay, let me just... Because if I lose a connection with the prefab, then I don't have it anymore. I mean, I'm gonna try it, whatever. Unpack. Connect. Okay, this one is connected. Play. Yep, it's because of the prefab. Okay, because the prefab it's initialized with this, because I cannot. Okay, Unity. Let me see, prefab fields using the data. Okay, so no, it's not a scriptable object. Yes, editor utility set dirty. Okay, that's another one that I try to use, but this is not the one that is not. This is not the problem. The problem is in this one, maybe. Let me see if I can call this here. Oh, not target. No, this is not. No, not target. What's it? Accept a game object. Game object or this? Yeah, because I want to set this dirty, not the game object, I believe. Okay, so connect all neurons. Oh, I lost this connection, but let's see. Yes, it's working. Okay, yeah, that's what I want. So, okay, so to make sure that you don't lose the values when you change the values of the prefab fields on edit time, you just need to set this set dirty. I knew that was something like this, but I never remember what is the the right command to do this. So okay, try not to forget this. Okay, so now I have the network. This one is no longer connected to prefab, so I have to deal with this later on. So now I have this, I have this whole network, and now what I'm going to do is to change the way that the neuron, when it's controlling by the enemy, the way it behaves. So Let's see, neuron. Before, what I was doing, oh, but now the neurons in range is here, is not in the target. Because it actually doesn't need the target anymore. Yeah, in a way, it doesn't need a target, yeah. So I'm only activating this. Okay. I'm only activating this neuron target. Yeah, probably I'm not going to need the target anymore. So the target is going to be controlled by the player. And if it's not the player, if it's the computer, then I'm just going to implement the logic here. So private update. And let me see. No, here. This space is here. Okay. Something like this. Okay, so then I don't need the player type anymore because the neuron target is only gonna work. This is not the neuron target. Okay, let's call it. How I call it? Like it was like the synapse shooter, spawner shooter. Okay, synapse shooter makes more sense. So we have a synapse and a synapse shooter. Yeah, makes more sense. And we have the neuron. The neuron is not gonna have this. It's gonna have the synapse shooter, which is this one. Okay. And this one basically it will only be used when we are, oh no, I'm going to use it also for the enemy, but probably I'm just going to use it to send the synapse. Yeah, but I don't need the whole update thing. I don't need this anymore basically. So yeah, I'm going to shoot, and right now what I'm doing is I'm shooting, okay, and I'm moving the synapse transform up. So basically what I'm gonna do is okay, I'm gonna rotate. I need to change this a little bit, yeah. Okay, now I still need the shooter. I still need the synapse shooter for the enemy. I just need to change probably the way that it is working. So it is not gonna work like this. It's not gonna shoot after some time. Okay, so I'm gonna keep all this. Let me see. So the neuron. Because the problem now is that okay, when I activate and it's a computer and this neuron is being controlled by the computer, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select a node from the nodes in range. So I'm gonna select a node from the ones that I added here on neurons in range. I'm gonna select one, a random one, and after some time I'm just gonna shoot to that node. Yeah, but I don't know if I'm gonna have. Probably I could have like rotating, like just rotating until it reaches that rotation, or it just shoots. It just shoots, and without having the whole shoot target thing around. I don't know. Let me see if it's too strange. I mean, let me see. Okay, if I have something like the computer. Maybe I can just like enable it. Okay, it's gonna wait. After some time, I'm gonna enable it, and it's just gonna like rotate and shoot. I don't know if it's good idea to have it like rotating anyway. I'm not sure right now. Let me see. Using range. Okay, so using range. So basically, the idea I'm gonna have to give this to the target. I mean, I don't have to give this to the target. I need to. Okay, I either activate with a player type or I activate. Okay, I activate with the player type, and if it's the enemy, I'm not gonna activate with the player type. I'm gonna. Activate with a neuron. I'm not very happy with all this code right now, but so here I'm activating with the player type, and I'm setting the player type, I'm setting the rotation speed, so we no longer, I mean, we have the rotation speed for the player, at least for now, and this the shoot time was for the enemy, and this I still need it, the renderer, and I need to enable the renderer, so I need to enable the arrow. Probably I can just rotate. Because I need the player type, because I can even need the time. I'm thinking that, okay, maybe I didn't need the time, so I could do that logic on the neuron and not on the synapse shooter, but it is a shooter. I mean, it's not the shooter that's actually... Mm, I'm really confused right now. So, let me think about it. So maybe it's not the synapse shooter that is gonna deal with it. It is a neuron, and the shooter is just responsible for instantiating the synapse and sending it on a way, sending it on a direction. I can also have that. So I had to change, for that I would need to change this whole activate thing and deactivate thing, and this player type I didn't need it anymore, or even this one. So I would just need this on the neuron. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna do that. So I activate with the player type, and if it's the player, I'm gonna enable, because the player type, I already have the player type here on the neuron, and the shooter actually doesn't need to know about the player type. I don't like to be like passing around this value to this whole hierarchy. Doesn't make sense in a way. So okay, this sounds... I'm getting really confused with all this open. So basically, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try it. I don't know. And so this is gonna rotate. So I'm gonna activate. Now I'm thinking, okay, I enable the rotation, or I rotate 2. But then again, if I wanted to do something like with the controls for the player, or maybe I should have like different shooters, like a synapse for the player, a synapse shooter for the player, and a synapse shooter for the enemy. I have no idea right now what to do. So let me see. The idea is that the player will be shooting when it presses like something like here or here on mobile. Right now I'm using the spacebar to shoot, and probably I'm going to use the spacebar and some other keys. So what a key to rotate, to start rotating. When I release it, stop rotating, and then I can shoot. And when I start rotating it again, it starts again to the other side. Okay. Now, who deals with that? Is it the shooter? Is it the neuron? That's the main question, because right now it's the shooter that is dealing with that. So the shooter is always rotating, even if it's the player or not, or if it's the enemy shooter. Synapse shooter, no, I can call it, I could have like both, like a synapse shooter and like a player synapse shooter and an enemy or computer synapse shooter. But I didn't want to create another script for that. I don't know. Really confused right now. Let me see. Get cover. Okay, no, this I don't need. Okay, like shoot. Because this is what all of them are going to have. So they are going to shoot I'm going to instantiate the synapse. I'm going to put it in the position, wait for it to reach a target or the collision in this case, and cover and move the synapse on the transform dot up, which is the direction of the shooter. That is all correct. Okay, maybe what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna deal with each one first. So I'm gonna deal first with the enemy and then I'll come back to the player. Okay, let's do something like this. So when it's the neuron and when we activate the neuron with a player type, okay, I do all this. When it's a computer, I need to do something a little bit different as well. So not only I activate the target, I'm gonna have to select a neuron in range, and I'm gonna say to the target that it's going to shoot to that neuron. And then the target is going to wait the time delay that we have in the field. Probably it's going to start rotating. It's going to enable. It's going to start rotating. Using that time delay, it's going to start rotating to the node that we want, really slow or not. And when it reaches, it just shoots. That seems a cool thing. Let's try it. So synapse shooter. So I have the activate. I need to send the neuron, because then I can see, okay, if I have a neuron, it means that it's not the player, but it's not like really clear, you know. So this is okay. This is more or less okay. So this shoot time, blah blah blah. It's not like okay. I need it also. Yeah, I need something like that. Not exactly like this because it's not gonna keep shooting like we were doing before. So okay, I either activate for the player or I'm gonna create a new one and I'll see. So shoot neuron, and I'm gonna pass a neuron, and this one is gonna be the one that I'm gonna be selecting from the neurons in range. So okay, so here I activate when it's a player, and when it's not a player, I'm gonna do shoot neuron. Okay, and here I'm gonna do neurons in range, random range 0 to neurons in range dot count, and I need to deal with something else like what might happen is that I'm on this neuron and I'm going to select this one, so I'm going to shoot to this one, and then I'm going to select, I don't want to select again the same, so maybe this is important, so I'm going to maybe deal with this right now. So a neuron is going to have like a boolean value, which is activated, let's say, and we have another boolean value that for the player type. So a boolean value. We have another property for the player type. Okay, so I no longer have this. Now I have this one. And why am I creating properties? Because I need to access this from the shooter. And why is this? Because when I'm going to be selecting a neuron in range, I'm going to select first a neuron that is is not activated. I mean, not activated, not. A neuron that is either not activated, or if it's activated only by the player, because I don't want neurons already activated by myself, something like that. So when I'm selecting, I think in Wink I cannot do this directly. Let me see. Okay, private neuron, get random neuron, and first what I'm gonna say like available neurons, and here what I'm gonna say, neurons in range, select, not select, I never know, link where, I think it's where, and now I'm gonna use like x, and now x is active, so it's not activated, where is not activated, or x, oh no, I don't need to do x again, or player type is equal to player. and this returns the list with all the available neurons, and then I select a random one from this list. Yeah, I think it makes sense. No, not the first or default, and then I select a random a random range. What am I doing? A random range from 0 to the available neurons. Dot length count, because it's a list. No? Why? Why is it? Message group to float. What am I doing? Random range, blah blah blah. Available neurons. Oh, this is a enumerable list. Okay. It's obsolete. Ah, random range. So, do I need this one? Not sure. Yeah, I need it. Okay. So, shoot neuron, and I'm gonna say get random one from this message. So if it's, yeah, I don't need this player type actually. Okay, yeah, I don't need this player type. Okay, I'm not gonna that's like start doing with other stuff right now. So I shoot neuron. I'm telling you, okay, you need to shoot this neuron. What it's going to do is I'm gonna enable this one, and I don't need this. Yeah, and the get color, I think I don't need it anymore because I'm gonna divide this method. So cover enemy, because when I say to shoot a neuron, I know that it's being controlled by the enemy. So I can change the color to enemy. I'm gonna enable the render, and now I need these ones because it's the shoot time delay. The rotation speed, I don't need it. So for example, this one would be here now, and here I would probably create like a different component for this. This doesn't make any sense to have in the update like this switch statement, but I mean, just a prototype. So shoot neuron, activate, and I'm gonna do something like this. When time equals blah blah blah, does something like that. Okay, and now what I need to do is it's like a rotation. Yeah, I need to have like a target rotation, and I'm terrible at working with rotations. So let's see if I can create something like that. At the target rotation, and here when I say it to do this, I say that the target rotation is going to be no, maybe not this one. So I'm going to create a direction basically, and the direction is going to be equal to the neuron dot transform dot position. I am thinking that if it needs to be this one or the shoot target. No, because I'm not gonna be rotating on this pivot. I'm gonna be rotating on the center. So yeah, the direction. And here, I'm gonna rotate until I reach that. Okay. But now what I need is the rotation speed. I need to adjust the rotation speed so that it matches exactly when when the shooter ends rotating. It's exact time that it's going to use to shoot. So okay, here, okay, I need to take this from here, and because this is no longer correct, so I need that here. And now what I'm gonna do is, so I have a direction. No, a direction is gonna be after this one. So I have the shoot time, I have the delay, I have the direction, and I have like the rotation speed is going to be equal to, I need to calculate the angle if I'm not mistaken. So vector 3, let me see something. what am I rotating? I'm rotating the actual, yeah, I'm rotating the one. Okay, so vector 3 dot angle in degrees between from and through. Okay, so between the transform dot up, yeah, the transform dot up and the direction, dividing by the current delay. And this is the speed, if I'm not mistaken. And here, what I would do would be like transform rotate. No, not rotate. So transform dot rotation equals quaternion dot rotate towards. This is not gonna work exactly as I want, probably. I'm always terrible with this. So your rotation, no. Rotates the rotation from towards to, no. No, viewer. Yeah, I can use viewer and the direction and rotation speed, blah blah blah. I have no idea. Okay. Let's see if this is remotely like what I want. So I have the network. I'm gonna select like someone, this one. I'm gonna just put this here. I'm gonna enable it with the computer. Activate. No, it's constantly rotating. Okay, doesn't make sense. What am I missing? Synapse shooter. Is it like, let me see if I'm missing something. No, I'm doing here. Okay, I'm gonna debug this just to check. Okay, so I have this neuron. I'm gonna not deploy. I'm gonna activate with the computer. Okay, so okay, I know. Okay, it's activated. I don't want this, so I'm gonna start here. Okay, so I have the a neuron number 9. Current delay. Let me see. The delay is 0.4 seconds. The direction is whatever. The rotation speed. Oh yeah, okay. It might be really quick because yeah, okay, it might be really quick. It makes some sense. Oh, it's a player type. Yeah, I'm not changing the player type, so that's why it's rotating like that. Yeah, that's the one. So I need to change it. Okay. So let's say that the player type is equal to player type dot computer. This is becoming a real mess. But okay. Let's see if it works and then I'll just come back to it. Nope. Not exactly what I was expecting. Let me see something here. Because I want to rotate to direction, basically. Yeah. Rotation to direction vector. Rotation from quotation. Is it a verb? I don't know. Let me see. So a problem is all is these ones here. So the transform the rotation, rotate towards. It's not the Wook rotation, or is it the Wook rotation? No, but the Wook rotation I cannot do. I cannot use the Wook rotation. I think with the. Okay, so maybe it's not the direction that I want. Let me change this again. So it's a quaternion, and this is the target rotation, and this is not the way that I'm calculating the target rotation. I think this is the one that it's wrong. I never know. I need to like study this a little bit better. So what I want is the target rotation is quaternion from to rotation. Okay, from direction, which is the transform dot up to the direction that I had before. So to the neuron transform dot position minus transform dot position. And now, but now I have a rotation. I cannot do this like angle. Okay, but let's see. Even without the rotation, changing the rotation speed, let's just use the same one and let's just see at least if it rotates to the correct place. No. Oh, no. I activated the player. Yep. Okay, I don't know what this one is doing. And even this one, it shot like here. I don't know, doesn't make sense. Let me see again what happened. Okay, so computer, activate. Hmm. Maybe it's not exactly what I'm looking for. So why is this happening? Let me see. I'm doing the transform dot up to the neuron transform position from to rotation. I think, and then I'm rotating towards. It's actually rotating towards something, but it doesn't seem to be the correct neuron. Let me see. Transform dot name, just to see which neuron we are targeting. Why is it up here? So we have this one. I'm gonna activate it with the computer. Oh, synapse shooter. Yeah, it's not exactly what I want. Okay, so that one, and then this one is like 275. Yeah, but it. Oh, because of the time. Yeah, it's because of the time. Of course. I mean, it's rotating, but since it's shooting before reaching the actual rotation that we want, it's not shooting when properly. So because we are using the time and not the rotation. Okay, so I need to calculate the rotation speed, and then probably I won't be using the time here. I can just like compare the transform rotation with the target rotation. It would, let me see, because if I do that, and if I'm not mistaken, the rotate towards, it reaches the exact location. The verb does not reach, but the target rotation reaches the exact rotation, I believe. Let's see. Because now, which one? This one. Which one is this? Okay, this is 75. Okay, so activate with the computer. I don't know why this happened. Okay, but it's okay. Now, what is not working? What is not working properly is because I don't have the is activated. True. I don't need this anymore. And oh, I don't have a deactivate. Okay. Oh. See, computer activate. Okay. Index out of range. It seems like it's not finding. Oh yeah, because it might not find any neurons. Hmm. Okay, I'm just gonna force this. Yeah, because it might not find any available neurons. That's what is happening. So available neurons, and I'm gonna say, okay, if the available neurons at count is equal to 0, I'm just gonna search it again. So not the best practice ever, but well, we'll see. Where and here the where. So so first I'm gonna change. I'm gonna check for I want neurons that are not activated or that are activated by the player. No, I'm thinking that okay, I'm just gonna select like a random one. I think that's the best way. I'm not changing it, so it's not a problem. Yeah, just getting a reference to the list. Let me see. And I still need to check that the speed and everything, but we'll see. Okay, yeah, this is it. Let me see what happens. Strange, because sometimes it seems that it's selecting neurons that are already. Okay, once again, why? 76. Strange. Why is it not able to? I don't know what happened. It tries to shoot 77 and it just starts like shooting up. Why? Hmm, activate player type. So shoot neuron. I still need to change this rotation speed, but before that, why is this happening? This is not helping, so I need something like this. Let me just see. It's happening a lot, so it's really strange. Here, activate this one. So, okay. Because it's really strange why it does like that rotation, like. Okay, so neuron 91 was trying to shoot to 76. So this one was trying to shoot to this one. Hmm. So 92 to 91, 92 to 91, and 91 to 76. Why it's not like rotating? Hmm. What the hell? 61 to 61, which is one that is firing, to the 59, which is was it? But why? 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 Is it the current delay? No, I mean. Yeah, right now I don't even have like the current delay or anything. I'm not using the current delay or the shoot time because I'm just dealing with the rotation speed. So mm, it's shooting, so it's actually shooting. Yeah, because it seems that. Let me see something here. Okay, debug.log and transform.name. This is the activate one. I'm missing something here. I think that I'm calling maybe deactivate more than one time, something like that. Because it doesn't make a lot of sense. Computer. Yeah, someone are really fast because it doesn't need to rotate a lot and it's not dealing with the time delay or anything like that. So that's why it's really fast. And okay. Okay. Yeah, you're 37, 37, 35. And it's just like hmm. Okay, so it's activating the shooter. It's okay. I'm not using any of this, so the neuron transform dot position to the transform dot position, and we are using the transform dot up. Yeah, that's correct. So the transform dot up, which is exactly where we are pointing. Yeah. So the question here is that it starts working, but then after a little bit, but my question here was that okay, maybe it couldn't find the other neurons to activate. Could be something like that, but it's not. I mean, it's finding the actual neuron that it wants to activate. It seems that it is not able to rotate to that neuron for some reason. Why is that? It's a very good question. And even the time and everything, it's not correct yet. Okay, so let me see. The rotation speed, I could do something like quaternion dot, I think, angle, and it will be like transform dot rotation to the rotation dividing by the current delay, which is the time that it's going to take. Okay, now let's see. And then we are using the rotation speed, so it would take a while to get to the point. Okay, I think this would be the way to enable the rotation speed. uh, 32 to 22. 32. Let me see. And the shooter, okay. 2, 22. Doesn't make any sense. Why is it not able? Okay, let's use again. Let's try to use again the time. So time.time, then shoot time plus the current delay. It would also seem like, okay, we are calculating the speed correctly. Let me see, computer activate. Okay, the speed is correct. Oh, that's really strange. I don't know why it sometimes does that. I have exactly the same problem. It seems that it's after a while, after a few shots, that it just like breaks. Right? Okay, yeah. I give up. I don't know. Uh, if it's something like probably it already shot before. Okay, let me see if it happens. Or if it's always a new one. Okay, some shots here that don't make sense. I have a problem here somewhere. So for example, I think it was this one, like 22. I don't know how I can. It seems that they are shooting also like neurons that are not in range. Oh, I mean like 31 to 20. Oh, these ones are okay, I think. Like 87 to 26. So 87 is this one, and it shot the 26, which is. Oh, no, that's correct. 7 to 73. I don't know. Just. Right, okay, 70 to 73. It didn't happen. Okay. Oh, this is really strange. Okay, yeah. I have a problem here. So 29, 29, 20, 28, 8, 6, 6. Here, like for example, 6 to 9. Okay, so for example, here, the neuron 6 shot the neuron 9, and then the 23 shot the 30. What? How is that possible? Yeah, 6. Even here, 6 shot number 3. So the 6 shot the number 3. You see, the 6 shot the number 3. And then the 6 again shot number 9. Oh, probably this is why it's like. Then eventually I should have like number 9 here. No. And it just. Hmm. Mm-mm. See. Why? And but I'm using like the neurons in range, so it doesn't make any sense. Like six shot number 3, and it's okay. Now shot number 9, it's okay. Like 23 shot number 30, yeah, but 70 shot number 44. Are they actually like? Is it because of the collider? Maybe the collider is like hitting some other objects because it's too big and it's hitting other objects in the way and it's activating other objects. Might be something like that. Let me see if I have like a synapse. The box collider. Why can't I see the box? Oh, because it's really small. So no, it's not possible. It's not possible. No. Okay, so it's not. It's not a problem. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea how to fix this. Uh, okay, neuron 15. Let me see. Computer again. Okay. 14, 77, 17. Okay, all good so far. Okay, now it's just like 6, 20, 20, 85, 86, 19, 30, 32, somewhere. You just see where it was. Oh, here. So 87 to 36. Let me see. So 87 is this one. It connected with 36. 87 connected with, but it never got to 36. That's the problem. And it got to 35 here. That's the problem. Yeah, it's a collision. Okay, I'm gonna change the collisions. Yeah, it's not a problem. So here, so I could get away with the box collider, but I can't. So I think I can use like a mesh collider. Can I use it here? No, I don't think I can use it here because this is not a mesh. No, it's not a mesh collider. Box collider, circle collider, edge collider. No. Not the polygon collider. Which one do I want? Circle collider. Yeah, perfect. 0.2. And is a trigger? No, it's not a trigger. No, the other one is a trigger. This is not a trigger. Okay, let me see. Now I'm gonna select something like this one. Oh, this is the first one. Okay, let's select this one. Okay, the box. Oh, yeah, this was the one that I broke the. Okay, neuron. It's the same place, and now I'm gonna do like build a network. What have I done now? Ah, it's because of this one. Okay, it's missing. Okay. Connect all neurons, and now it should be connected. Yeah, it's connected. I don't, not like this. I like to have things like this. Like my scripts are always at the bottom, and the Unity scripts are always on top. Something like that. Those like the rules that I use. Okay, so this one, and I'm gonna activate this one as a computer. Let me see. Now I shouldn't have problems. Yeah, okay. See, it should go until the end, until activating all the nodes eventually. I mean, it doesn't have like, it's not a smart system, so more like a random one. So, okay, it was able to get all of that. Oh, why? What happened now? Why? It was going so well. So number 7 to number 4. So this one, try to shot this one. Okay. And then the neuron, what happened here? What's going so well? And then this one just like start doing something. I don't know. Let's try it once again. And I'm gonna deal with something else and then I'll come back to this bug. I'm also gonna like connect. Oh, the sign. No, this is because it's like instantiating a lot of them. Okay. So this one, try to shot the 76, which is this one. Why? And it failed. I don't know. Okay. Close enough. I'm gonna deal with this tomorrow or something, or later. Not right now. So this was the what I wanted for the enemy. So the enemy starts, and it's gonna be like propagating through the nodes. And now I need to change the behavior for the player. Because so I do like shoot neuron here, and here I do like activate. Yeah, this is not very happy with this one, but okay. So, and this is the thing. I'm not gonna transform rotate. What I wanted to do would be something like get key. Okay, yeah, get key. Key code dot return. Yeah, I'm gonna use the return key. So while I press the return, it's gonna start rotating with a certain speed. While I hold down the key, it's gonna be rotating with a certain speed. And when every time I press, so if or every time I release, I mean, get key up, not the escape, but whatever, the return, I'm going to invert the speed. So rotation speed is equal to, not equal, -1. Maybe something like this. I even prefer the other way around, because first I get the key down, and then if it's not down, then it's probably up. Okay, and then I have the space. This one I don't want to be a single one. Okay, so, and when I activate, so this was like a random thing. So I'm doing the player. Yeah, okay, let's see. Let's see if it makes sense. And I still need to test this on mobile, because it might not make any sense on mobile. Let's see. Okay, so neuron, I'm gonna activate with the player. And now I press enter. It's really strange. Yeah. Oh, it's a little bit strange, but maybe on mobile, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna test it on mobile. But first I want to create lines between the neurons when they are being like connected. So I need to create lines, okay. So a neuron can have many lines, which it's the lines to the ones that is connected. Maybe I'm gonna have like lines also to the other ones. But now what I need to think about is when, no, it just can get like really crowded in a way when the neuron is when it changes teams, let's say it this way. So let me see. I'm gonna call it synapse line connection. That's a little bit better. Synapse connection. And let's do this. So something like this. And so this one, and private, the line handler, yeah, the line handler, and now public void, and I'm gonna do like connect connection, and I'm gonna do like connect, and when it connects, I'm gonna say, so I'm gonna instantiate this line. So the synapse, we are going to send the synapse, it's going to connect to the other one, and when it reaches the other one, it's going to say, okay, I hit the other node, it's going to send back, and then I'm going to connect both nodes, something like that. So I'm going to say, okay, connect to this one, because it's going to start already on the neuron that it's the origin who shot the thing. And yeah, so connect to this one. So what I need to do here is line handler. This is like points, not points. Set position. Okay, set positions of all vertices in the line. Okay, so connect, not connect, so make connection or create connection. Create. It's a synapse connection, so we can call create. So neuron from origin and neuron for target. And I'm gonna set positions, and the positions are, okay, I think I can use something like this, are the origin dot transform dot position and the target dot transform dot what transform dot position. Oh, I cannot use it. Why? Require form. Okay, I cannot use it like this. Yeah, I'm making a mistake. This is a vector 3. Yeah, I was missing that, of course. And okay, so I'm setting the positions, and then I'm gonna show. Oh, and I need a color also. Oh, it's deprecated. Okay. No, it's not gonna have a gradient, so I'm gonna do something like this. Start color and end color. Yeah. Okay. And now let me see. Okay, so now I'm gonna create here. I'm gonna create synapse connection, and here this one's gonna have an effect which is a line handler, and probably I'm gonna use the same things that I'm using for the other one. So 0.1, yeah. and the color is going to be set by code. So I think this is just it. I mean, oh, and I'm not filling the line handler. So awake line handler, get component, and get component in children. Yeah. Okay, so let me see. Okay, sign-up connection. Have a prefab here. Okay, and now who is going to create the connection is the neuron. Is the one that's going to create the connection. Yeah, it makes sense, I think. So the synapse, the neuron or the shooter? No, it's the neuron. Yeah, it's a neuron because it's the one that. No, this is not the one that receives shoot neuron. Synapse shooter. Okay, so it shoots, activates. This is the one that receives. Okay, probably like connected. I'm not very happy with these terms, but let's see. So synapse shooter, and we are connected to a new neuron. And the shooter is gonna say, okay, babe, synapse connected. Make more sense. What? Oh, okay, it's back. Connected. So, and this is gonna happen here. So connected, invoke, and this, and the neuron. What? Neuron. Something like this. And now the neuron is gonna be like listening to this, and it has this so connected, and it's gonna be a neuron. No, not a neuron. No, it's a synapse shooter connected, and we have a listener here. So let me see. I'm gonna position it here. So okay, so means that the synapse shooter connected to a neuron, another neuron, and not making a lot of sense, but yeah, I'm gonna need to change it later. So if I have time. And here I have a synapse connection, which is a connection. Oh, something is happening with the connection, not the connection of the neurons, but the connection of the internet. So what's happening? It's not receiving enough video. Okay, so it seems that my web connection is not very stable right now. Let me see if I can change something here on the settings, probably. They say that I could change very fast. I don't know if it applies to runtime or not. Yeah, I think it applies. Let's see if the status is better. Synapse connection. Okay, so we have a connection prefab, and this one, so neurons in range. Sorry, my dog is like, I don't know, making noise. So target connected, and now what I'm gonna do is create a connection between this neuron and the other one. So first I'm gonna instantiate a connection. Instantiate connection. Then I'm gonna position it. Hey, I'm gonna make it a child of this transform of the neuron. I think it makes sense. And I'm gonna position it at the center, like reset the position. And then I'm going to create a connection. So instance dot make connection, no, create connection, create, not connection. And the color, okay. Oh shit, what is the color? I'm not using the color here. How am I using the color? Oh, I didn't create the color. And this is getting like really strange, but you would need like a really big refactor. So, oh, color player, color enemy. I mean, it's exactly the same. So basically, I don't need this here, and I don't need this here, and I don't need this here. And basically, what I can do is just call this get color with the player type. No, with the player type. And here I'm gonna get color again. Once again, I could just like use the color of the render. Okay. And these to the other neuron. Okay. Let's see. At least I want to create. So today I want to create like the where the player starts. Okay, so activate. Now I can do this. What? Oh, okay. Sign up connection. That's why it failed. Okay. What? Yeah, it's creating lines, but somewhere. What? Oh, let me see if the line render is. Oh, it is. What? Are the positions maybe? Are the positions like local or world positions? No, I'm not sure because I'm saying, yeah, I'm saying that maybe they are local. Okay, let me try. Transform dot inverse transform point. Yeah, so just to see if at least they start at the origin, you know, of the object. I don't know. Give one activate. Yeah, okay, they are local. So I need to change both of them. I was passing like world positions to the when they were expecting local, and so that's why they were like I don't know what, like strange places. Okay, so let's continue. Here, we try it again. Activate. I think the line is really the width of the line. You know, like it's really big. I don't know the exact word. It's big. So I need to change this sign up connection. But I thought like 0.10 was not like the one that I'm using for the trail. Yeah, 0.10. Okay, maybe for the line I cannot use it. So I'm gonna use like a smaller one. So I mean, it's really small already. So 0.05. I don't know. Let's see. I need to change it on runtime and. Oh, okay. It's really hard to control like this. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. I'm gonna have to test it. Okay, so now I can create the connections. Okay, so what I'm gonna try to do now before ending this video is to just have both players at the same time, working at the same time. Oh, but if I do something like that, I need to also create like revert, like if the enemy is able to select a node where I'm at, I need to okay. If the enemy is able to select a node where that I'm controlling, that I'm currently controlling, I need to like go back to nodes that I previously activated, something like that. So probably what I'm gonna do is, yeah, I'm gonna create a queue or a stack, not a queue, a stack. I'm gonna create a stack where I'm gonna store all the nodes that are controlled by the player. And who is going to like control that? The neural networks. I mean, it needs to be this one, I think. Yeah, because this one is not doing anything right now. So first of all, I need to instantiate the player and the enemy. So let's start by doing that. And for that, I cannot choose completely randomly the neurons that I want to use, because it might happen that I get two neurons that are really close to each other and doesn't make sense. So probably what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna like select a bunch of nodes for the player spawn points and a bunch of nodes for the enemies by hand, and then I'll see if I change it. Of course, that to have like a proper game, I'll have to have like some automated process to do this. But so neuron, and let's see, like player neurons. I should have called it like nodes. Neuron is really strange. And I'm gonna call it like enemy neurons, something like that. And yeah, I'm gonna also work with all the neurons already connected, so not a problem. And then what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna select, like, for example, like these ones here, probably. The player is gonna start on one of these ones. Yeah, I don't know. Let me just. Oh, I cannot. I have to lock this one first, then select these ones, and now I'm gonna just drag it to here. Okay, so these are the player neurons, and the enemy is gonna start here, something like that. And these are the enemy neurons. Okay, and now when the game starts, where am I building the network? On the way, it doesn't make sense. On the start, I build the network, and I'm going to instantiate the player and instantiate. So activate the player neuron and activate the enemy neuron, something like that. So I don't have like a proper player. I don't know. So not instantiate. I'm not instantiating anything. I'm just activating. So the player neurons, I'm just gonna select a random one. Not random range. Random range. Something like that. Okay. Player neurons length. Space. And I'm going to activate with the player type player. doesn't make a lot of sense, but okay. And on the end, because now I'm not gonna say like activate with the enemy, I'm just gonna say like shoot. Oh shit, no. Oh, I cannot say like shoot. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Let me see neurons. Oh, no, no, I activate, yeah, the target is the one. Oh, okay, no, no, it's all correct here. Player type dot computer. Let's see what happens. Start. Okay, I have no chance. Okay, so I need to. It's the synapse. Yeah, I think it's the synapse. Oh, I forgot. Like, where is the button to open that? I'm like, what's happening? Okay, so the synapse. No, not the synapse. No, it's a neuron. And the synapse shooter. The shoot time delay is like 0.5. Okay, no, so it's like half a second. So maybe I can have like second and a half, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. And then we have this problem. Yeah, okay. Oh, it's get really slow. Why? I'm not entirely sure if it's working properly the way that I want it, at least. Yeah, maybe when they change, when they change, I'm gonna just delete all the lines, all the connections. Maybe it makes sense. But it's really hard to control it. So maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm gonna leave it like rotating. Not sure. Okay, I need to test it on mobile first. But before that, I need to do something like not only resetting the connections, but also keeping like a set of, yeah, because they are not activated. Okay, first I need to do something here. So probably here on the player type, I'm going to select none. So I'm going to have a none player type. And now the neurons, I'm going to have delegated. I'm going to say when they are activated because I have no idea. So on activated, and it's a neuron, and I have access if it's activated or not. Okay, and look to the player type, and I think that's what I need. And here I have on activated, and so activate. That's all this, and I call activated invoke this one. Okay, and now the neural network. Since I built the network, get components, and I'm doing this, so I'm gonna do neurons. I'm gonna create a variable for this. Neurons, neuron dot activated equals neuron activated, and I'm gonna create this one and this one. Neurons, okay, they shouldn't be together. Okay, and now I have when a neuron is activated. And now a lot of things can happen. Not a lot of things, but a neuron is activated by a player or by the computer. And if they were not activated before, it's not a problem. But if they were activated before, then I need to change a few things. Not no, I'm missing something. It's not if they were activated or not. It's not exactly if they were activated or not. It's something else. Let me see. That's not exactly the problem. No, so sorry. Okay, here. Yeah, that's not exactly the problem. The problem is that yeah, because the neuron is when I activate the neuron, it gets activated and that's it. Now, what I want is when I'm changing the activation type. That's what I want. Okay, so I cannot do something like this. I'm gonna do something like at the beginning because I need the player type, the last player type, and the new one. Okay, yeah, that's something that I need. So let me say that player type, let's say last type, something like this. And here, and the new one is already on the player type. Oh, it's not. It's not already on the player type. Okay, so here is not the last type, but is the new activation type, something like that. So this is the new activation type. Okay, and now this one is not correct, so I need the player type here as well, and let's say activation type. Now what happens is that if neuron player type is equal to none, I don't need to worry. No, because now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna need to have two stacks. I'm gonna have two stacks of neurons, which are the player neurons, and oh, I already have like the player neuron on top here. So the player activations and the enemy activations, activations. And I'm gonna start them here. Neurons, blah blah blah. I'm gonna start them here. I could like do something like a lazy activation, but okay. I don't need this anymore. And here. At the end, depending on the activation type, I'm going to add it to the correct stack. What I need to do here is that if the stack is not correct, I'm going to need to activate the other one. Basically, it's that, yeah. This will be activated either way, and I'm going to need to activate the last one. Basically, it's that, yeah. Okay, so what I want to do is that if neuron player type is different than none, okay, let's do something first. So switch activation type, and here I'm gonna do like the player first, like this, and the computer, something like this. Okay, so activations, player activations, push, and enemy activations, push. Now, but if the neuron player type is not none, yeah, the question here is that if I try to activate the same, what should I do? Because I can have also that like a player, even the enemy does that. Like sometimes you need to select a node that was previously selected. I'm gonna add it either way. I mean, okay, yeah. So I'm gonna add it either way, and I'll see. So if neuron type is different than this one, and the neuron, I mean, I don't need this. No, if the neuron type is different than the activation type, basically is what we are talking about. So if the neuron, no, I need the other one also. So if this one is different than none and the neuron player type is different than the activation type, I'm gonna have to activate the last one. So I do a switch again, activation type, case and the computer, and big break. And here I'm gonna return this. And so if it's the player, which means that the player is activating a node that was previously activated by the enemy, it means that I'm going to have to activate the last enemy's neuron. So I'm going to do like enemy activations, pop, and activate with the computer. And I'm going to do the same, but for the player activations, and I'm going to activate it with the player. Not entirely convinced of all this, but let's see. It starts really, really good. Object reference. Oh, because I'm doing this. Okay. Oh, it didn't work. No. Okay, this is like what? Uh, maybe I made a mistake here. No, but it's not because this is a new activation type. Yeah. So let me see. Debug.log current current activation type. It's gonna be like the neuron active player type. Like player type, but activation type. But okay. And the new one is going to be the activation type. Okay. So let's see. Current computer, new computer. Not entirely sure. Stopped working. Oh, because it might not be activated. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I'm not considering if it's the current activation or not. I mean, I'm just considering, okay, if it's activated or not. I mean, okay, it's a little bit different. Let me see. Because we have this activated, true. The connected, okay, no. The target, no, not this one. The shooter, that's what I want. So the shooter, yeah, it deactivates. But just deactivates the shooter. Does not deactivate the other one. That's the thing. Okay, so having like the shooter, this new class was the worst thing that I decided to do. Shooter, okay, deactivated. It's like a really bad code right now, but it is what it is. I don't have time right now to clean this mess. So the neuron, yeah, the neuron is gonna have to like register to the connected, and the neuron is gonna also have to register to this one. So synapse shooter deactivated. Because when the synapse shooter, so this one activates, but it's actually the synapse shooter that says that when this one is not activated anymore. But when this is not activated anymore, what we do is we just change this is activated to false. Okay, and now I can change the other thing here. No, not here. Here. So what I want is, so first the neuron needs to be activated. That's the first thing. Then it cannot be, if it's different than, it needs to be different than none, so it was never activated before. And the player type needs to be different than the new activation type. And so when the new activation type is a player, and what the other one is different, means that the other one is the enemy, so I need to pop, yeah. I mean, this makes sense, but it's not working exactly, so let's see. Trigger enter, I destroy, synapse shooter target reach, neuron activated, and I send it back. Computer new is a player, but then I have this current computer. What happened here? Oh, it's not the last one. No, I think I'm activating again the same. It's not the last one. No, because the last one is, it's not the last one, no. is the other one. Okay, so I have to. It's not. This is not very good. Okay, so let's see. Do I need to do like a pop first, like a new one? Okay, this is not. Mm, not entirely sure about this. Oh, I miss it. Okay, but yeah, I didn't got the player one. Why? Okay, I don't know. I'm gonna deal with this tomorrow. So this is a problem, okay? But I'm not being able to think anymore about this. So the only thing that I want to change right now is like the controls for touching uh, this in the shooter. So here in the update, I need to change this. All this here. Okay, so okay, so what I'm gonna do is if I touch on the right side, it's gonna rotate. If I touch on the on the left side, it's gonna rotate. And this one should, or the other way around. Or maybe instead of having like this, it could be like if I press, it starts rotating, and when I release, it shoots, and the other way around, the same thing. Okay, yeah, maybe it makes more sense. Let me see. I don't remember. Input touches. Yeah, touch count. Yeah, something like this. So I'm just going to count with the first. Okay, so if input touch count greater than 0, now here I'm going to have to do something like if Unity Android and not Unity, this, and not Unity Editor. I have to do something like this. But first, let me just take this. So just have like a syntax highlighting and stuff like that. So if input touch count greater than 0, okay, so I get touch, so which is the input get touch. I'm just going to count with the first one, get touch 0. Okay, and now I have to do, I don't know if I have like the face. Yeah, switch face. Yeah. So case touch phase, not to begin. I mean, it's either like touch the screen, moved on the screen, ended. Okay, let's do something like, so if it's stationary, or if it's ended, or if it was cancelled. And here, if it's stationary or touch phase moved, something like this. Okay, if it's ended or cancelled, I'm just gonna shoot, right? Now, if it's stationary or moved, I'm gonna rotate. And if I'm gonna rotate, I'm gonna have this here. Oh no, I cannot. I can just cut this. Okay, I'm gonna have this here. Now the rotation speed is the one that I need to change. So if touch dot position in screen space, okay, touch dot position dot x minus 0, minus 0. screen width divided by 2, it means that it's on the left side. So if it's on the left side, no, I don't know. Okay, I need to check. If it's on the left, on the that side. Oh, but then if I change it, I can also do something like that. I can do like this or on the middle and just do. Okay, if it's on the left side, so it's going to rotate. Let me see. Yeah, I can change the rotation speed. Yeah, so I'm changing here the rotation speed, but I don't want to change it. So what I want to do here is that current speed. Yeah, I need to be using this one and not the rotation, and not changing directly the rotation speed, because if it's in either changing, okay, shoot neuron, yeah, the current speed. Yeah, because I don't even need the rotation speed here because I'm changing the rotation speed. Yeah, okay, that's correct. So now the current speed. Now I'm not entirely sure about this. Let's see. Else current speed is equal to rotation speed. Okay, like -1, something like this. And I can do exactly the same here. So instead of be using like this, I'm gonna use something like if input get key, and I'm gonna use like the arrow. So left arrow. I'm gonna do exactly the same. So if get key left arrow, I'm gonna change the rotation speed, something like this, and I need to like make a generic function to use all this later on. So if it's the left arrow, I'm gonna do something like this. Else if input get key right arrow, the current speed is going to be equal to the rotation speed, and if either one of them, I mean, in a way it's okay. I'm going to change that. So if the left arrow is pressed or the right arrow is pressed, we just keep rotating. And here we no longer have like the space key, so if input get key up left arrow or input get key up the right arrow, should, yeah, something like this, I think. We just see at least if I'm rotating to the correct side. Stack is empty. Okay. Oh, I had a problem there. Okay. Yeah. It's the other way around, of course. So even here it's going to be the other way around. It's not exactly what I want, no, because I want to change it between both. Right now, if I do something like this, I cannot change. Oh, I can. But as soon as I release one of them, okay, it's not exactly what I want. No, so keeps rotating. So if input get key up left arrow and and if I'm not pressing anything else, then I should. But now I can do something like this. Okay, yeah, something like that. So, and this is going to be the same. And if what? No, because they are inside the input touch count. Hmm. Mean that I released. Okay, I'm gonna try it like this first, and then I'm gonna see what happens. Okay, so let me see if I can just make a build out of this. So, oh, I don't have a cable here. Okay, maybe I can even. I don't know. Okay, so I'm gonna make a build now, and I'll come back. I don't know if even today or tomorrow to continue with this one. So I'll show you tomorrow how is it working on mobile. And this is it. So I'm not very convinced, to be honest, with the whole interaction. I think the idea is good, but the interaction is not. It's not a good experience. It's not a kind of fun experience. You don't feel like that stress or that like pressure. But I'll try to get around it. And okay, so this is it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll continue probably tomorrow. So thank you.